Well, here we are for our Memorial Day yoga practice, which, if you received my emails, would have informed you. I'd like for it to be a little more vigorous today, which may or may not match where you are, because this is a whatever yoga practice. I would like to tie into the fact that we have fallen heroes from the beginning of time, and for whatever reason, they stayed the course, they did what needed to be done. So maybe we draw upon that strength for our practice today. This is called Surya Namaskar, Series A, as I've learned it. That means there'll be a few push-ups, but we'll learn it slowly because I know some of you are still on the newer side or have some issues, don't we all? And so we'll learn it with a few breaths in each one of the poses on left and right side. Then we'll do it again, and we'll do it with a little more breath. And then the final time that we do the series, so it'll be a total of 6, you should have the moves tied with the breath. For example, inhale, we lift, and exhale, we fold, and inhale, we open, and exhale, we finish the push-up. Now, you might remember me telling you that when I do the challenging poses, I always try to do the best early on because I tend to poop out. And so you can always transition to knees, going up or down through your push-up. You can forego a downward dog by just being in child's pose. You can use blocks. That will be helpful because there are a few step throughs. So you're in your downward dog, you lift up your leg and you swing it through and step into a lunge to come up to your warrior one. So blocks can be helpful for some people. Eventually you just have to go for it. So while today is maybe a somber day for many of us, I know that there will also be some gatherings, and so bring to your practice just your mindfulness, as we always should. And here's what I can tell you. At the end of our practice, if you really put forth your effort, you will have a really nice shavasana. So I hope you can stick around for that part. So we still want to begin with some centering. So we're gonna sit on our mat, and you can sit in a chair if you'd rather. You can sit on a pillow. I sometimes sit on my blanket. Now, when I stand over there, I know my voice will not be as close to the microphone now, so hopefully you will still hear me as well, but you might have to adjust your volume. So let me shift over there. Okay. Here we are. So sit yourself in a way that's comfortable for you. That could be like me, on a yoga block, on a pillow, on a blanket. And then align your body so that you have all the strength and support to sit comfortably for a few moments. Mula Bandha, pelvic floor energy, drawn up and grounded. Lower belly drawing in to lend support to the back. A lifting and lengthening of the spine so that we're not compressed. And then the relaxing through the neck and the shoulders and the jaw. Head is on top of the spine rather than falling down or looking up. Hands can be where you need them. If you're sitting with your ankles crossed, you might want to hold on to your knees. If your back is pretty good today, you can do a yoga mudra. So that is one thumb to any finger or collection thereof. And without explaining what each one would indicate, just know that whatever fingers you picked would be the right one. You can ground yourself with your palms down. Now there's probably distractions around your space. So let's push those distractions away, lower or close our eyes, and come to the moment. Noticing our body and how it feels at this time. Some days we have issues in certain places, and so working around them and honoring them seems to be the prudent and smart thing to do. Challenging yourself where you can might be the focus of our practice today. Lending support through our core, through every pose that we do, a zipping of that zipper, the action of Uddiyana. Moving in the presence of our breath, which in our normal course of the day gets put in the background. We don't think about our breathing, so let's bring that forward in our mind. Notice where the breath comes from, where it goes to. Can it go through your nose? Should it be the mouth because you're congested? And as you flutter your eyes open and stretch your arms out to the side of your space, working in a safe space, joining the palms together at our heart, we cultivate our attitude of gratitude. And then we still want to begin with a bit of a warm-up to lubricate our body. So let's keep the palms together and extend them forward and then back to our heart. Pretty simple motion, right? Just a bending of the elbow. But maybe as your arms move forward, you tighten through the belly. If you need to change how you're sitting, you can do that. Now, instead of bringing my arms directly forward, I'm going to move them diagonally off to one area and then off to the other area. Pretty simple move, and yet I want you to be mindful and notice. Do you feel a little bit through your back? There's a little bit of a twisting going on. Maybe use that exhale as you're moving out. Now leave the arm out and just let it sweep from side to side. Palms are touching together. Now pause and let the arms go a little higher, creating an arc or an arch. Kind of like the fireplace behind me, isn't it? So now I've got a little bit of a lateral lean with my palms together. It makes it interesting. My body likes to find balance, and this kind of challenges the balance. Now I'm going to make some big circles with my palms together. Again, if you need to change how you're sitting, feel free. Let's go one more time around this way, and then change the direction and go the other way. So as we're doing these moves, notice how it feels. Take that under advisement. Maybe make it a little smaller. Maybe you're good to go large. As the arms come down back to our heart, press the palms outward as to push away those distractions. And move the wrist around, articulating your fingers. So not just the wrist moving, but also the hands. Don't worry how you do it. Now begin figure eights, and then as my arms become involved, they cross in front, they go behind. Be careful with your furniture. So we want our shoulders warmed up. Yes, we will be doing chaturangas today. So those elbows will move into our side, and let's practice that. Let's tell our body how we prefer it to work today. So bring those palms forward, anchor the shoulders, draw the elbows in, and press the palms forward. So you want to feel the arms brushing by the side of the body. And then I'll do one more. Now, wherever you're sitting, see if you can lean a little forward and grab the hands behind or lace those fingers. And as you're sitting, straighten those elbows. So if you're in a chair, you might want to grab the back of the chair. If you were sitting with your legs crossed, same thing here. Now go ahead and lean back on your hands. So if you were like me on a block, time to get off your block. Sit back, Bring the knees up. So still a little bit, wake up for our hips and our back, and a little more for the shoulders as my legs drop from side to side. So I generally move slowly in my warm-up just to make sure something doesn't go patwangy. Now I have my feet slipping by one another, but if you held the inner edges of the feet to get together, it would be a little more. And you can move your legs wherever you need to. So I'm going to move to a standing position. Now I prefer you try and get up without your hands. And if you can, cross the legs and stand up. But if you can't do it that way, see if you can swing your legs around so you can get up on your knees. However you can lift yourself up, go ahead and lift yourself up. Ta-da! I'm going to move my block off to the side. You can stand on your mat any way that seems comfortable. Let's put the hands on the hips and widen our stance, Mula Bandha, Uddiyana action. And I'm beginning a figure 8 pattern. So pushing my hips kind of forward and then circling back. Then a hula, so I'm going around. I like this one in the morning. It really helps bring a little warmth into that sacrum area. Go the other way. Reminds me to activate Uddiyana, that zipper motion. So I like it for a variety of reasons here. Then I'll turn my toes outward in a slight bend in the knee, not leaning forward, but laterally letting my left hand slide down onto my thigh. Top shoulder is back, reaching out. Now I'm going to do a sideward lean to open the right side of my body. So the left hand lending a little support to my back. Now if you wanted to straighten that right leg a little bit, you can. And that right arm comes as close to your ear as possible. Take a breath, release back, both knees are bent. Feels different, doesn't it? Then the other arm comes up. Now with both knees bent, I laterally lean, using that right hand to support my back. This could be enough for you with a straight elbow, arm by your side. Feel free to straighten that leg if you want a wee bit more. And breathe. Return back center, turn the toes forward. So I'll turn sideways because, and maybe I'll shed my little jacket here. So I'm gonna slide down onto my thighs and I want you to shift forward into your toes so your hips are not back behind you, they're right up over you. Yeah, and I'm gonna do cats and cows. So I don't have to do these seated or on my hands and knees. I can draw up through my belly and then release and let the back arch or extend. Also bowing my head and lifting my chin. So I'm not too fond of looking up, but I know people do. I just don't do that myself. And then I'll let my head stay down and slowly roll myself up, putting my hands at the small of the back with my fingers pointing down. Now for those of us who have compromised backs, it's going to be better for you to shift your pelvis forward to create a back bend. And if you don't have compromised or you don't feel you have compromised back, you're going to leave your pelvis there. Draw the shoulders back and lift your heart. So you may be kind of doing this, or you may be this person, but it's been a conscious decision. You didn't just like lean back and not think about it. So be you, let those hands be on your back and open up. Now bring the heart forward, slide the hands down your thighs, lean into your toes. Now go as far as you feel you can, which may be above the knees, below the knees, along your shin. Could be with your hands on the floor. Stay in your forward fold, check that your legs are straight and be you. I'm not hanging here, I'm supporting my back. Bend the knees, put the hands on the thigh, drop the head. Now check your blood pressure as we start moving the fluid around. And hands to the small of the back again, shoulders back, a little back bend if you want. You can skip this if that doesn't feel right. And then go back down to forward fold one more time. Lean out with the heart. Take your time. Now, wherever you are, put both hands on one leg. Without turning the body, just shift the weight to one leg. So you feel a pull in the back of one leg more than the other. Breathe. Move your hands to the other side. Shift your weight. Ooh, ooh, ooh. How's the other side? Bend your knees, hands on your thighs, bow your head. Once more, articulate and roll the spine up. Now you can do one more back bend, or you can skip the back bend. And return center. Walk 1 foot forward, so you might want to be on the long end facing the short end of the mat so you can use the length. Walk your feet in a little bit and have 1 foot forward and 1 foot back. So not a whole warrior position, just a little bit. Front knee is going to bend to give you a little stability. And then you're going to use the hands to artificially push the hips forward until you feel a bit of that groin. Now, depending on you, the back heel can be down, but some people like to lift the heel, lean back a little bit more. So where we're going is here. So however you can get this feeling, the heel could be down. Breathe. As you bring the body back, you'll feel that tension release. Go ahead and swap out your legs. So the front knee will be bent for balance. Lean your chest back, move your hips or bend the front knee more until you feel the groin or hip flexor on the other side. Again, some people lift the back heel. Oh, this side really feels it. What did I do yesterday? And release. Now as I face you, we're going to finish with a little ankle circle, and then we're going to get started with our Surya Namaskar. So if you came to the practice a little late, give yourself enough time if you didn't get all your body parts done. So you can work on your balance, ankle circles. I'm doing my wrists because I just like to do it, but you can hold your hands here if you'd rather. All right, other side. The foot doesn't have to be on the floor, but it might be better. So either way. Now as we step to the front of the mat, I want you to really pay attention to listening and occasionally viewing at me, but this is really about you using your knower and your internal fortitude. So I'll explain each one of the poses so you know where we're going as this progresses into following the breath. So for those of you who have blocks and like to use blocks, why would I use blocks? Well, let's just say I had 2 blocks, but for some reason I don't have 2 blocks. I would have, coming from my downward dog, I would use the blocks to step forward with my foot because it's a little more space to work with. So if you want to use a block, put them up toward the front, don't need them. Step to Tadasana, the mountain pose. Root the feet. Each time we come back to our mountain pose, extract all the elements that will give you support as we do our flow. So we find those intentions, and the first breath series will be arms lifted, chest lifted. And using the exhale, I'll open my arms carefully, bend the knees, touch the backs of my hands down on the earth. So this will be my exhale. Then, with my knees bent, I inhale into a chair pose, knowing that I have options. That if my knees don't like this, I could come up a little higher, I could stay lower. My arms can be in front of my chest to be a little nicer to my back or shoulders, or it can be more traditional. So this is my inhale. On my exhale, Uttanasana, so this is where my hands come down to the mat and I drop my head. Now some people's knees might straighten, mine don't usually in the morning, but look back through your legs. You can feel this would be the exhale part. With the inhale, drop the hips, lift the chest and look forward. My fingers are still touching the floor. Now on the exhale, I'm going to step back into a plank, walk your feet or step your feet as you feel that you can, and then you load into your plank from hands and toes or hands and knees. Now there's no pause in this one, so we're just taking some extra time here to make sure our shoulders are over our hands. Because when we come to the plank, we're going right down to the mat. Remember, your chest and hips land at the same time. Your chin is up and your elbows are in. Relax the toes. As you inhale, lift your chest without pushing on the hands. And then push on the hands, come up through the knees, turn your toes under, keep going to a downward dog and not changing your feet like I usually ask you to. So I came from my belly, lifted my chest through baby cobra, pushed up through my knees into a downward dog. Now we're going to go right left, so it'll be the right leg first. Stand on your left foot, lift up your right leg. Do you know this? Three-legged dog. Now here's our first challenge. Raise your left heel, bend your right knee, look forward, do the best you can to swing or step your right foot up between the hands. This is where having blocks can be helpful. When you get to your lunge, you're going to drop that back heel downward on the diagonal so we can establish Virabhadrasana 1. So back leg straight, toe turned out, front knee bent. If you need the support for your back, use your legs as you come up. Otherwise, inhale, Virabhadrasana 1. Let's review. Chest forward, hips forward, front knee bent, back leg straight. Arms can be in front or arms can lift with the heart upward. That's a lot for the back. Don't feel you have to do that. So get your Virabhadrasana 1, and that's the warrior 1. Then we go down to the bottom of the push-up. So the back heel lifts up. I like that so I don't tweak my knee. Come down onto your hands, step your front foot back. Here you're back to plank. Chin up, elbows in, down we go. Relax the toes. Inhale, lift the chest. Now we're going to keep on going up onto hands and knees. Turn the toes under, back to downward dog. Don't change those feet. Stand on your right foot this time. Lift up your left leg for a three-legged dog. This helps when you raise the right heel, bend the left knee, look forward, swing and step that left foot forward. And sometimes it doesn't get all the way forward, so swing it around, creep it up, however helps you get there. Same thing this side, drop that back heel, my toe is diagonal. Engage your bandhas. Again, use that front thigh if you need to as you rise to Virabhadrasana 1. Take note of hip placement, chest placement, front knee bent, back leg straight. Arms can be forward of the body or up. Now as we come back down to our plank, I lift that back heel up, lower to my hands, step my front foot back, and come all the way down for a third time, elbows in. This time I lift my chest, but I go back down. So I lift and then I lower. This time I turn the toes under. I can either lift up from my knees or from my thighs onto the toes and push all the way up and into a down dog where I do adjust my feet. So I move my feet forward, and maybe you'd like to make it nice on your back by bending the knees. Maybe you'd rather come down into a child's pose. Maybe you need to be on your knuckles. You have about 3 breaths in this downward dog. When we complete downward dog, both heels come up when you breathe in. Then the knees sit back, look forward. Some people will hop, some people will walk, some people will step up to where the hands are. From here, drop the hips, lift the chest, breathe in. On the exhale, hands on or around your calves, bow over, pressing your body and thigh together, Uttanasana. From here, find your chair pose. So this will be an inhale. Watch your blood pressure. Bandhas and breath. And as you breathe out, return to Tadasana from where we began. Now that's the series. I'm going to go to the other end of my mat and we're going to do the whole thing. Our orientation will be with the left leg. You don't have to move. You can stay right wherever it is that you are. Again, we'll go through it slowly, but this will get zippy. So put imprint into your body each move as we practice. Inhale, the arms lift. Exhale, open the arms, bend the knees, touch the back of the hands on the earth in front of you. On the breath in, find your chair pose. On the breath out, move to your forward fold, hands by your side, look through your legs. On the breath in, drop the hips and lift the chest and gaze forward. On the way, breathing out, step back into your plank or your push-up position from hands and knees or hands and toes. And then exhale down, elbows in. As you inhale, lift your chest, not pushing. Next inhale, lift your hips, come to your knees, turn your toes under, not to move the feet, downward dog. So this time our left leg comes up into three-legged dog. Raising your right heel, bending your left knee, do the best you can. Look forward, swing, and step your left foot forward. And drop your back heel. So establish warrior feet. Front knee bent, back leg straight. When you're ready, on the inhale, stand yourself up. Remember, the options for arms can be forward or overhead. On your breath out, we're going to come down to the push-up so that back heel lifts up. Step your front foot into a plank. From the knees, from the toes, go all the way down, chest and hips same time. Baby cobra, breathe in. Next breath in, lift your hips up. Go to your downward dog without moving your feet once more. This time, lift your right leg up for a three-legged dog. The arms are straight, the legs are straight. Raise your left heel, bend the right knee, look forward, swing and step that right foot up into lunge, and right away drop your left heel. Front knee bent, back leg straight. Bandha some breath. When you're ready, bring yourself into your warrior one. Use your options with the arms overhead or forward. Extract what you need from Virabhadrasana. We go down to the push-up again, so I flip the back heel up, lower my hands, step back, and come all the way down. This time I go up, baby cobra, cobra, or up dog. And then I come down. Now the next one, I'm going all the way up to downward dog, so I turn the toes under. Knees can stay down, knees can come up. Lift your chest and hips at the same time, right on up to down dog, and move your feet forward. This is where you calm yourself. Remember, you have the option to bend the knees. When you breathe in, raise the heels, bend the knees, sit back, look forward, walk, step, or jump to where your hands are. Knees are bent, hands are on the floor. Drop the hips, lift the chest, breathe in. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, find your chair pose. Remember the options for legs and options for arms. Pay attention to blood pressure. And then as you exhale, stand back into Tadasana. And that is the series. We go back to the right side. I'll be on this end. I'm going to go a little bit faster. So listen for cues or visually check in. Bring everything from mountain through your posture. As you inhale, lift the arms. As you exhale, touch the earth with the back of the hands. When you inhale, find a chair. When you exhale, forward fold. As you inhale, drop the hips and lift the chest, shoulders down. As you exhale, step back and finish your breath at the bottom of the push-up. On the inhale, lift your chest. Exhale, push up all the way to down dog. Don't change your feet. As you inhale, right leg lifts. Lift the left heel, bend the right knee. Breathing out, use your core strength to step the right foot up and drop your left heel down. When you stand up, Virabhadrasana 1. As you go down to the bottom of your push-up, step the front foot back from knees or toes. Elbows in, chin up, relax the feet. Inhale, baby cobra. Exhale, push up into downward dog, leave those feet. Stand on your right foot, lift up your left leg. Raise the right heel. When you breathe out, bend the left knee, look forward, swing and step the left foot forward, drop the right heel. Ground yourself and on your own terms, come to Virabhadrasana 1. When you breathe out, down to the bottom of your push-up, flip that back heel up, step yourself back all the way down. Relax your feet. Baby cobra, cobra, up dog. And come back down. Now we go all the way up to down dog. So toes under, hips up from knees or toes. Press off the mat and move to down dog. This time adjust your feet. Remember, you have the option for child's pose. When you breathe in, bring your heels up, set the hips back, look forward, walk, step, or jump softly to the front of the mat. When you breathe in, drop the hips, lift your chest, head up. When you breathe out, hands on your calves, bow over and press together. Next breath in, make a chair. Next breath out, stand like a mountain. Now we go to the left side. Stay where you are, it's just that your left leg will be the beginning leg. Inhale, lift your arms, lift your heart, lift your spirit. Exhale, bend the knees, touch the back of the hands on the earth. Inhale, make a chair. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, lift your chest. Now as we breathe out, we're going to step into a plank and come all the way down to the bottom of whatever kind of push-up from knees or toes. Breath in, lift your chest. Breath out, push up into downward dog, leave your feet. Raise your left foot, breathe in. Raise the right heel. Bend the left knee, look forward, swing, and step the left foot up as you drop the right heel down. Ground your feet. Engage your bandhas, Virabhadrasana 1. All the way down to the bottom of your push-up, the back heel comes up, you step back to your plank. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, push up. Down dog, leave those feet. Raise the right leg up. Lift the left heel up. Bend the right knee, look forward, breathe out. Step the right foot forward and drop your left heel. Engage your core as you come to warrior 1. Square your hips and shoulders, back leg straight. Once more, down to the bottom of your push-up, watch the back foot. This time, inhale up, and then come back down. Toes under, hips up from knees or toes. Press off the mat to downward dog, and adjust your feet or child's pose. Raise the heels when you breathe in, bend the knees, look forward. As you breathe out, walk, step, or jump softly to the front of the mat. Drop the hips and lift the chest, hands on mat, breathe in, look up. Exhale, forward fold, breathe out. Chair pose, breathe in. Tadasana, breathe out. Bandhas and breath. Okay, my friends, on the breath, on the breath. Honor yourself, do what you can. Tadasana. Inhale, the arms lift. Exhale, bend the knees, touch the back of the hands. Inhale, chair pose. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, lift the chest, drop the hips. Exhale, down to the bottom of your push-up. Inhale, up. Exhale, downward dog. Right leg lifts, inhale. Exhale, step the right foot forward, drop the left foot down. Inhale, warrior 1, stand up. Exhale, down to the bottom of your push-up, elbows in. Inhale, up. Exhale, push back down dog. Left leg lifts, breathe in. Exhale, step forward, drop your back heel, breathe out. Inhale, warrior 1. Exhale, down to the bottom of your push-up. Inhale, up. Go back down. Inhale, lift your hips. Downward dog. 3 breaths. Inhale, raise your heels. Exhale, sit back, look forward. Walk, step, or jump to where your hands are. Inhale, drop the hips, look up. Exhale, bind and fold over. Inhale, chair pose. Exhale, mountain pose. One more inhale, exhale as we finish the other side. Inhale, lift the arms, lift the heart. Exhale, touch the earth. Inhale, chair pose. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, chest up, hips down. Breathe out, step back into your plank, and as you finish your breath, come down. Inhale, lift chest. Exhale, push to downward dog. Lift the left leg as you breathe in and the right heel. Exhale, step that left foot forward and drop the right heel. Breathe in and stand up. Breathe out, down to the bottom of your push-up. Chin up, elbows in. Inhale, go up. Exhale, push back down dog. Raise the right leg, left heel, breathe in. Exhale, step the right foot forward, drop the left heel, breathe out. Stand to warrior one. Down to the bottom of your push-up, breathe out. Inhale, go up. Exhale, come down. Toes under, hips up. Press up, downward dog. Adjust those feet, 3 breaths. Raise the heels, breathe in. Bend the knees, sit back. Walk, step, or jump up to where the hands are. Breathe in, drop the hips, look up. Breathe out, bow over, fold together. Breathe in, chair pose. Exhale, Tadasana. Stand and breathe. Well done. So feel your body. So let's give it a bit of calm as you step to face me with your feet apart. Fold your arms. Now we're going to be dumping our head forward. The knees can be bent or straight as you wish. Basically, I'm using my arms to stretch my spine, and perhaps I'd like to sway. Focus on your breath. Shift your forearms to your thighs. Turn your heels in. Drop the hips, lift the chest. Use your hands on your thighs. Draw all the way up. Arms to the side. Raise your heels. Balance. Raise the arms overhead and walk your feet together. Now I've locked my thumbs in here so they're helpful. Press down on your right foot, lift up, leave both elbows straight, push down on your right foot, lean to your left side. Don't worry how far you go. Squeeze your legs together, come all the way up. Let the hands come behind your head. Support your head as you lift your heart. You don't have to look up if that's uncomfortable. Look forward. Bring the head up. Join the thumbs again. Hands overhead. Push down on your left foot. Lift up with both arms straight. Laterally lean the other way. The bottom arm tends to soften, so keep it strong. Lift all the way up by squeezing legs. Release the arms. Coming to the bow pose, standing bow pose. Now here you might want to use, I don't know, a mantle, a chair, something or nothing. And you don't need a strap. You hand grip your ankle either from the outside with your thumb forward and your palm in. However, traditionally, it's like you're turning your hands to shake with someone behind you, so the palm is facing outward and the thumb is up, and you grab the instep of the foot. Now, some people cramp into their hamstrings, so if you think that might be you, there's a couple of ways to get there. Sometimes just wiping your foot up, and if it's easier to kind of grab it from the outside and then move your hand around, you can do that. Now this will play into our back, so we want to be strong through our bandhas. Doesn't matter which leg, you do you, I'll do me. So get your balance, maybe hold on with one hand. Go ahead and bring the other leg up. Position your hand as you would like to have it. Once you have the grip, make sure if you're turning the palm out, the thumb is up, not down. So you're going to kick the foot into the hand that's behind you. And you can either put the other arm up if there's something high to hold on to, or hold it in front. And as you kick the foot, the arm will extend forward. You don't have to go that far. Just like a bow and arrow. Return up, let go without falling over. To the other side. Bring the foot up. Position how you want. Remember, if you're using traditional, the palm is outward with the thumb upward, pinky finger downward. Hold on to something or hold up as the foot kicks into the hand. Not about leaning forward, it's because you're kicking the foot into the hand. Don't worry how far you go. Come back and release and do the little figure eights. We're about ready to come down on the mat. Aren't you happy? So take a seat without the benefit of hands. Now this one we have options for. It's the boat pose, Navrasana. That can be difficult for people because of hip flexors and back or both. And so we do a dinghy version. So I'm going to move the buns away so I have a better presence of where my sit bones are. Then I'll bend the knees and put the hands behind. Now you see I'm a little sunk down to show you this is not where we ought to be. We want to lift up the chest so that I've engaged the muscles of my back, so I have both the back and the belly working. And then I'll lean back. So my arms are straight. Gazing outward, consider lifting your feet up, zipping your zipper, and you can make it a light touch or you can let go. With the knees bent, it's a nice modification, and you breathe. Now, if you can do the legs straight, you just go ahead and do those legs straight. Now, when I'm finished, I'm going to grab behind my legs, leave one leg straight, tuck the other leg in, and let it fall out to the side. That foot can either be high in your thigh, along your knee, your calf, your ankle, up to you. The other leg is extended, the toe is up, and then bring the hands behind and get that lifted spine. So counter pose, use the hands and bring the heart forward towards your thighs. You may not go very far, and you may need to keep the hands there. Not everybody needs the help of the hands, so they can bring the hands forward. Avoid reaching for your foot, please. Engage through your core. As you come up, both knees come bent. Go behind your legs. Lift up your chest. Lean yourself back. Zip that zipper. Pick up your legs. Maybe they go higher, maybe they don't. Maybe you hold on, maybe you don't. As I release, hands go behind, other leg is straight, other foot tucks in and falls out to the side. Hands assist in helping me sit nice and tall, using my hands to hinge forward. Remember, this foot can be inner thigh, knee, calf. This foot should stay up, sometimes it rolls out. Notice where your body needs to release. Sometimes it's a hip, sometimes it's a knee, and sometimes it's the back of the leg or your back. Slowly bring yourself up. Now we're going to be laying down, so make sure there's space behind you. You can imagine you have a block or a pillow between your legs as those ankles are closed. The arms are forward. Now I'm going to roll down my spine, and that may not be a good thing for you. So if you know on the way down, not good for me, you just go down on your own way and we'll meet on the floor with both legs straight. Otherwise, draw in through my belly. Getting my low back down first. Slowly releasing under my control until I end up with my arms just above my chest and my legs straight. Let's separate the feet like we would be in a Tadasana. And you can use your hands just to come under that low back. You don't have to stick them all the way under, just fingertips is good enough. And there should be a little natural curve there, right? Now I want you to tighten through the belly to imagine I were to come and step on your belly and notice what you feel on your fingers. So exhale, breathe out. And breathe in. Exhale, breathe out, tighten that belly, don't squeeze your bum, and release. Exhale, tighten the belly, you'll feel pressure on your hands, yes. Once more. Now same thing, but bend your knees in. If some of you are laying here and your chin is jutting up, it might be a good idea to take a towel, if you haven't already, and stick it under your head so you have that natural position. It doesn't take much, just showing you. Some people do better with this. So my knees are bent. So this time have one fingertip under your back and one hand on your belly. Now, or one hand on your bum if you wanted to monitor that. So that same feeling, feel that you're crushing the belly down without squeezing your bum, and release. Nothing else should change, so your head, your hips shouldn't be moving. Go deep inside to Mula Bandha. Now release the arms above your shoulders. So I am going to think of curling my pubic bone like I were curling my knuckles toward my wrist. So you see what a small range of motion that is. Curling my pubic bone toward my belly button, arms up and out of the way, not pushing on my feet. Less reliance upon your bum, so you're not squeezing your bum, you're just trying to bring that pelvic bone up towards your belly button, and yes, your tailbone will lift. My bum is not really squeezing. You can check yourself. Now as we progress, if you're feeling it's a bit much, you're going to put the hands back on the floor, otherwise leave them up. Now as you do that big exhale, you're going to lift the heels towards your bum and bring the knees towards your chest. And when you inhale, you're going to put the toes and the feet back down. Make something out of nothing by going very slowly. If this is a lot, use your hands for a little bit of help. You can mitigate, but see the feet are low, they're like your weights. Zipper, zipper. So I'm feeling if I can aim my knees toward my arms if they're up. That's kind of a nice little marker, an impetus to go a little tighter into that squeeze. Next time I would like you to leave the knees up, squeezed in. Bring the hands behind the head without letting the elbows lag behind or lead ahead. Just cradle the head into the hands. Keep the knees in. You're going to try and bring your elbows and knees together and release without letting your head go all the way back down. Use that full exhalation for the duration of your squeeze. Careful the elbows don't go too far forward. Remember, the hands are just cradling the head, not pulling on it. Do the extra work with the lower torso. Let those knees really pull in tightly. Do 2 more. Now letting your feet come down, arms go out to the side. You're going to lift up your hips, not that high, just a little bit, arms out to the side. So we know this is bridge pose, right? Without lifting your foot, feel like you're walking. So you've got weight on one foot, then the other foot, but you haven't really picked up a foot. You've just shifted weight into each foot, independent of the other. If as you do this, your back goes, ugh, then maybe it's best just to stay on 2 feet equally. If you're not feeling anything negative in your back, you're going to try and keep those hips as equal as possible and go ahead and walk. Now, if you find that your arms are helping you, you can remove those arms back up over your chest again to make it more challenging. If you had 2 cups of tea, one on each side of your hip bone, they wouldn't be slushing around now. Slower is better. And you breathe. Leave your feet down, bring your hands down. Shift your hips to one side. As those hips come down, let the knees fall the other way. So if your hips went to the left, your knees come to the right, or vice versa, and let those knees drop over. Turn and look at the back shoulder, and breathe. This is a good time for big breaths. So your feet are stacked and your knees are stacked. Make sure the top knee is not pulled off of the bottom knee. That sometimes happens. Raise your top leg first. Roll onto your back and put your feet down. Lift your hips up, swing them to the other side, and then let your knees fall over, stacking the knees and stacking the ankles and looking to the back shoulder. Easy breaths. Top leg lifts first. This time leave it up as you roll onto your back, placing the hands to hold the knees together a few circles. Place one ankle on the opposite knee of your choosing. The bent knee is pushing away, the bottom knee is pulling in. Some people reach through as the pretzel pose suggests and pulls on the back of the leg. I just push that knee because that works for me. Check that your shoulders are relaxed. Release and switch sides. Other ankle, push the top knee away. Bring the bottom knee in. Hold behind that leg or not. Relax your shoulders. Reclined Bandha Konasana. Do you remember that? That's a cobbler's pose. Bottom of the feet together, hands at your ankles, elbows, push the knees open. This is going to be enough for some. For others, you might want to open your legs into a wide straddle as long as those legs go fully straight. Whether you do the two-finger lock on the toes, hold at your calves, or at your inner thigh. So do what you need to do for you. Go ahead and bend your knees in if they're not already. Let the ankles circle around. Now here's where you might want to put, depending on your temperature of your room, you might want to put some socks or your slippers on. You might want to get yourself a blanket and lay it over you for Shavasana. You can lay on your back. Sometimes sticking a pillow under your knees is very nice. You could stay on your side. There's no rules that you have to be a corpse pose, so maybe this is better for you. You could lay on your belly. If you have an eye pillow, that's really good. So you're going to sit yourself into a place so that you can have a nice Shavasana. And I do know that people oftentimes feel that this is the most important posture and the least important posture. And so if you're the person who lays and their fingers do this, this is a good pose for you. To do nothing with our body and to give our mind a chance to rest. It's hard to do for some of us. There is a thing called monkey mind. So getting yourself set off, and of course there's probably going to be distractions or loud noises, so that's part of the practice, pushing that away. So take the body into your focus and let the head relax and the neck relax and the shoulders relax and the torso relax. Feel the weight of the hips, feel the weight of the legs. Surrender the physical you onto Mother Earth for a few moments. If you find that laying quietly creates that monkey mind, perhaps you can wander off to the ocean or sit by a river. Look at the mountains in the desert or the highlands. Bring yourself a sense of calm. Even if the thoughts bubble up, send them away. leaving those breadcrumbs behind as you go deeper and deeper into that sense of nothing, thinking nothing, doing nothing, letting your body nurture you, waiting for a few moments until I ring the singing bell, allowing this time to be yours. There is the singing bowl welcoming you back from that moment of calm and quiet and internal peace. Feel free to stay as you are or maybe roll onto your side. So thoughts today are about grief, and Benjamin Disraeli says, grief is the agony of an instant, the indulgence of grief, the blunder of a life. Loss is painful. It's natural for us to grieve over things that we've lost, and it takes time to fill the hole left by a loss. The larger the hole, the longer it takes to fill it. At some point, though, we need to put painful feelings aside so that we can get on with the business of living. And this doesn't mean ignoring or forgetting our loss, but rather recognizing that life is a gift and we have a responsibility to honor. We honor what we have lost as well when we learn from our loss, incorporate it into who we are, and then move on. So thought for us today, loss is natural and unavoidable. I understand and I accept this. And so with that said, bring yourself to a seated position. Sitting mindfully with the use of our bandhas and our breath. And did you touch a bit of the warrior inside of you today? Did you use your knower as a guide? Because this is really what I think yoga is. It's nice to do push-ups. It's nice to do a beautiful downward dog. But what does it bring to you, the real you? And so that was our practice today. I'm so glad you were here as you extend the arms to the side and take a breath with the arms coming up and drawing together, and then with the hands at the heart, as usual, we say, the gift in me honors the gift in you. Namaste. So I wish you a good rest of your day, whatever that may be, and a good rest of your week, and we will see you next Monday. Okay, namaste.